How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about the one guide that everyone is looking forward to, and that is the reroll guide for Zenless Zone Zero. Because in the reroll guide, we're going to be talking about not only how long does it take to start each process of starting a reroll, but also how many pulls are you going to have available to you, and also some of these standard characters you might want to look at when it comes to targeting them on your reroll if you're going for one of the other routes. When it comes to, are you just going for the 5-star on the standard banner? Are you trying to get the limited 2? Are you trying to get multiple 5 stars? A lot of different routes in regards to how this is going to work, but I'm just going to give you the foundation and base that you probably need to know in regards to the reroll guide for Zenless Zone Zero. So before we get into all that, make sure to leave a comment, like, sub, all that different type of stuff, and let me know if there is a 5-star you are looking forward to already before you even start your reroll process. But going on to the first thing that we need to talk about is the first mission that you're going to have to complete to be able to unlock your gacha process, I guess you could say, or your pulls that you're going to need to do when it comes to getting your 5-star. So you are going to be thrown into a story mission immediately once you make your account, and it's going to not only have a dialogue portion but also a tutorial portion in the combat, which can be sped run in all honesty depending on how long it takes you to conform to the combat of Zenless Zone Zero. And not only that, we also have a skip button as well for the story, which is going to be a very big time saver when it comes to the reroll process that we have currently in Zenless Zone Zero. It took me around 20 minutes with paying attention to the story and also the combat portions or tutorial missions when it comes to learning about it and also reading through it. So around 20 minutes, and this can be drastically reduced with skipping the story and also going ahead and speedrunning way through the combat portions of the mission as well, and you'll get pushed straight into the gacha screen with you being able to use the rewards that we are available on day one. Which, talking about the pulls that we're going to have on day one, we are going to get around 30 pulls for the standard banner or starter banner to get your first 5-star standard character. Now we are getting 2 of the multis from the pre-register rewards and another multi from an event we get for starting the game basically, and that gives us 30 out of 40 pulls to be able to pull the 5-star that we are going to get randomly from the starter banner, which is discounted. Now there are 2 different routes you can use to be able to change your reroll process, I guess you could say. Either you do the one with less work in a way, whereas you spend the 3 multis, see if you get a 5-star. If you don't, you reroll, or you can choose to grind a little bit longer and try to get that 4th multi in so that you're able to get your 5-star guaranteed, and when you see your 5-star, you're able to see exactly if you want to keep the account or not, depending on the 5-star that you got or not. Now realistically, when it comes to the standard banner characters that are really worth targeting for the actual reroll process, we are going to be looking at characters like Rena, Grace, and Lycan, because looking at Lycan, he is by far one of the best characters to pair up with the current limited character, which is Ellen. Grace, who is really great when it comes to the front-loaded investment that you're going to get with the attribute anomaly, and not only that, also being able to have a more time to shine moment when it comes to that attribute anomaly stat and being able to be used later on in the future. And then Rena, who has one of the most future-proof kits in the game at the current moment, with her defense reduced in a way with the res pen penetration, and we also have the electric boost, which is going to be very useful when it comes to a new electric DPS that will come out in the future. So these characters are going to have some very great front-loaded investment and potential at the start of the game. If you want a regular DPS, Soldier 11 and Nekomata are also amazing. I think Nekomata will be a little bit better only because the physical element is very strong when it comes to its reactions, and Soldier 11, although she is an amazing DPS, she's a little bit of a standard or middle of the road DPS that we currently have at the moment, but she is still a great one. Coleta at the moment doesn't have an insane amount of priority when it comes to targeting her for the current reroll process or for the standard banner. If you do end up getting her and you like her, go ahead and use her, but at the moment I think there's a lot of other characters right now that have a little bit more priority or a little bit more value in regards to what they're able to do as a 5-star. Now going on to the next thing, which we have very limited pulls on, is going to be the limited banner for Ellen, and trying to pull her alongside a very early standard character is going to be very difficult to do, but I guess with enough rerolls it is possible if you get lucky. Now I guess you could say the most strenuous part of this process will be to have the Hoyo counts already on standby to be able to go ahead and start the process of re-rolling, because you will have to make an account every single time, if I am not wrong, in regards to doing the mission and then doing your gacha process and starting it all over. That might be the hardest part. And is it worth re-rolling with the amount of time it takes and also what we're given at the start? I would say when it comes to the process of starting a re-roll over, with it taking only 20 minutes minutes to get to the gacha process is actually a very short amount of time compared to a lot of different games when it comes to how long it takes for you to actually get to the summon process. And not only that, we also are given that 5-star at the very beginning of the game when it comes to the 40 pulls that you need to do to get your first random 5-star, which is really good that we are getting 30 pulls, because that means you only have a multi left over to be able to see if you're getting a 5-star or not, because you aren't guaranteed it until the 40th pull, but you can pull it earlier, which is a very big portion and something that a lot of people are probably going to strive for when it comes to min-maxing the amount of currency they're using in the game when you are doing your reroll process. Now, I would say that rerolling for possibly a standard character of your choice would probably be worth it if you don't mind making those email accounts. But when it comes to re-rolling for, let's say, a standard banner and also trying to get Ellen as well, I think that's going to be a little bit too difficult to do, just because of how much RNG is going to be layered on top when it comes to making sure that you're getting the 5-star from the standard banner and also getting the limited character, which is Ellen, also as well. So there's 2 layers of RNG that you're gonna have to worry about when it comes to getting the standard character of your choice or getting a standard character period, and then going ahead with the limited pulls you're going to get, which is going to be trying to get Ellen. So I would say if you are going to be going into this reroll process, I would say personally try and just go for the standard character of your choice, or pick the ones that you think are the best for you. Now when it comes to that portion of trying to figure out what 5-star, either you pick the one that you like the most, or I would say you pick the ones with the more long-term investment at the back end or long-term investment at the front end. When it comes to Soldier 11, Nekomata, Grace, these are some really great characters at the very start of the game that will give you immediate value with how much power they have when it comes to the DPS they are able to provide, or with the reactions they're able to give with someone like Grace. When it comes to people with backloaded investment, you can go for characters like Rena, where she has that res penetration. You have Lycan, who's able to be absolutely amazing with Ellen and future Eyes DPS. And honestly, Lycan can also be put into that front-loaded investment potential as well, just because of him being able to synergize beautifully with Ellen at the current moment. And then also for the back end investment as well, besides Rena and Lycan, you also have Grace as well, which I think she's just the overall best option if you want someone who's going to have some immediate value at the start of the game with reactions, with a lot of AoE, with a lot of the robot enemies that are in the current moment at the beginning of the game, and also the ability to shine later on while an attribute anomaly is going to be built up as a team, built up as a stat, and have high priority in the future, which I can 100% make sure and see that reactions are going to be a big thing in this game when it comes to characters being able to min-max how many they're able to do, how fast can you build it up. I think Grace is going to be a beautifully, I guess you could say, investment potential when it comes to being a 5-star that many people are probably going to try and get. So if you want an overall good all-arounder pick for your first 5-star, I think Grace would be a very good pick for that. Otherwise, you can go look at the front-loaded characters that I've mentioned before, or the back-loaded characters that I mentioned before, if that is your type of playstyle, whether it be playing for the long run or having immediate value to be able to have something like a DPS or someone reactionary base that you could have at the very start of the game. But other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to the reroll process. It doesn't take too long, and I want to see having that standard banner or starter banner to be able to help us out with the 3 multis we get from rewards is going to be very useful and take very little time to be able to get done when it comes to finishing out that banner and seeing which 5-star you want. So for all those re-rolling, good luck. Hopefully you get the characters you want first try, so you don't have to keep doing it. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the video. See you guys in the next one, and peace.